All right, as you all know, 15 minutes with the players. We're going to go ahead and start with Taylor with our honorary question.
We're gonna start off with your thoughts on the match. What do you
Um, I feel like it was a 90-minute performance. It took everyone today, and I feel like we were very dominant from the start. We were knocking on the door, and then once we got that first, our momentum really picked up, and we were able to carry it through the whole game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a very full performance, and I would say one of our better performances for sure throughout the season. And it really took the whole team. Like everyone was really putting the best foot forward. And yeah, it shows with the result.
And then so both of you scored goals. We'll start with the second one first. Come back to you, don't worry. Pietro, what was kind of going through your mind as you saw the ball wafted over your head from Jesse?
Well, leading up to the play, there was just a massive gap on the left side, so I decided to just made my run and I yelled at Jessie to play me. Um, she played me, and then after that, I don't know. I saw the keeper was a little like advanced, so I was just like, take a chance, and yeah.
And then Rylan, you with yours, kind of the press kind of helped create that opportunity. Can you just kind of talk about kind of the effort that went into there and kind of the coordination between the people up top?
I feel like our press from the front was really dangerous today. I feel like we've finally been able to put all the pieces together and get on the same page. I think our communication was really good, and when we did regain the ball, we were able to retain it quickly and advance the ball pretty quickly. And yeah, that showed on the goal. We had numbers high. That's something we worked on this week in training is transition and getting numbers high and on the other side getting numbers back when we lose it. But that really showed we had numbers in the box and lots of numbers around the ball, and we were able to get that first ball in.
Yeah, and a very clinical finish as well.
Raylan, you guys have been on the road for so long, just returning home where you guys have been excellent this year. You talked about how it was an aggressive first half for you guys. What is that moment like, and what sort of momentum do you get when you are able to finally kind of convert there and kind of get kind of all that momentum into the goal call?
Um, yeah, momentum. I feel like we started off, like I said, our press was very organized. We had verbal calms from behind the front line to go, and I feel like we all just went together, and it was really encouraging. We even seen Issa getting high and megging players, and that we just feed off of that, and we feed off the energy that everyone has their own thing that they do and their own thing that they're good at, and I feel like that was all celebrated today.
And then obviously this is coming off a kind of disappointing game last week. You talked a little bit about the lead up to this, but I guess I was wondering if you could specifically speak to kind of taking last game, taking those lessons, turning it around, and then coming up with this performance today.
I, yeah, I think a big emphasis for this game was that we are at home and like we do have the crowd to back us. And with that came the press, and I feel like it really shows when we play at home. You can feel it. Um, and I was saying to the girls in the first half, I was like, home advantage is a real thing. Like,
Yeah.
especially here, you can really feel the enthusiasm from the crowd. Um, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Last week obviously didn't go our way, and we've been waiting to have a home game for so long. It's been tough being on the road. We've had some results go in our favor, some not, and coming off last week, a little disappointed. We knew that this game would be a big one, and it was a really big turnout, and we definitely that played to our favor.
Yeah. There was a season high attendance today of over 21,000 fans in Pride Night as well. And then Jesse Fleming assisted both of your goals today. Can you just kind of talk about, just the occasion today, but also her performance as well?
Oh my gosh, I her performance was spectacular. Honestly, she I tell her all the time she's such a class player. And you can see it today. Like both assists, like really can't ask much more of a midfielder. She played her role to the max. And I feel like she always brings her. She always puts 100% of her effort in every single play, and it's really an admirable trait to be a younger player looking up to her. She's very easy to play with, very easy to look up to. Um, so yeah, I honestly love playing with her.
Yeah, Jesse's a very consistent player on both sides of the ball today. You saw her in the press as well, organizing. but yeah, like you said, today was a big day. Lots of things to celebrate. And then obviously one of our players went down, so that was something else to keep in the back of our mind in the second half. Just playing for a lot of things today.
Yeah, I think also it's Father's Day as well. Can you just kind of talk about the impact that your dads have had in your lives as well?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
I mean, personally, my dad was the reason why I started playing soccer. He's the reason why I still do. Sorry. Yeah, going into the like when I came into the half, my only thought was him. Honestly, like he's a huge motivation as to why I play. And yeah, bye.
Yeah, I mean, today is a really special day. All the different holidays today, and especially what's going on in the world. But I feel like family is such a big thing to look back on and to play for, and especially what's going on right now, people being stripped from their families. It's just that tied along with Father's Day. It's a very powerful day and a lot of emotions today.
Raylan, you scored your fourth goal of the season today. You started off hot and you've kind of, not to say gone through a drought, but I feel like you've probably been itching to
It's
kind
okay, you can say that.
of, okay, you've been going through a drought. I feel like you've kind of been itching to find the net again. You came out kind of on fire. You're all over the box. And I just felt like today was the day that you were going to get to score again. Did you have that feeling, and kind of what were your thoughts heading into the game and your mentality?
I mean, yeah, I feel like if I were to have a feeling, it would have been today. It's a home crowd. It's been a while since we've been at home. Like you said, I have been in a drought. But yeah, there was a lot of great energy today, and like I said, there's just so much to play for today, and it was a team effort, and like I said, there was a lot of numbers around the box, and I was able to place it.
Raylan, you got to play centrally today, and we haven't really seen you in that position. It seems like a lot in a lot of these starting lineups. Do you think that playing centrally as a natural nine improved, or not improved your game, but maybe helped you get that goal today, being centrally?
Yeah, I feel like in trainings, like you can play wherever. I do feel most comfortable there, but I mean, I feel like our forward line is so fluid. Like wherever you might be on paper, like it's a fluid game, and you'll find yourself in every possession. I even was playing outside backs at some point, but I mean, I feel like positionally, like I wouldn't say like my confidence fluctuates centrally or wide, but I was excited for this opportunity today. Yeah.
And then Raylan, you touched a little bit on Issa getting pretty forward. I think she just overall had a really strong game. And then obviously y'all shut out Washington, who's a pretty good team. I guess I'm wondering if y'all can talk a little bit about the performance just like across the back line.
Yeah. I think our backline does a very job of being physical and not letting any balls in behind. I feel like that just wasn't a thing today. Like it was very locked down. And yeah.
Yeah, I feel like confidence wise, you can see that in our back line. We're confident on the ball. We know what we're gonna do beforehand. We have options. I think that's a big thing we've been working on in training is our midfield showing for the ball, whether that be like a rollout, but if a midfielder shows for it, play them the ball. And I feel like there were a lot of forward passes today from our back line, and they were locked down on defense, like as it shows in the score.
And then Raylan, you touched upon it a second ago, but Angel City FC spoke out about everything going on right now. You mentioned it earlier as well, and then you had a Mexico fit on as well. Can you just kind of talk about just the players using the platform to kind of boost that message as well?
I feel like the women's game is getting a lot more viewership and a lot of attention, and I feel like we are lucky to have the platform that we do have and eyes on us, and I think it's a great way to speak out and show at least our support of what's been going on recently.
All right. We're going to go ahead and conclude today's post-match availability with two players, Raylan Turner and Pietro Torden. Congrats on the goals. We'll be back with Rob Gill.
Thank you.
She played. She didn't put his hand in there. I yelled at Jesse to play me. She played. Oh. I don't know. I feel like he was like his fans. I shot. Yeah. Thank you. Like a dog.
You think it's not this time that they'll keep posting?
Oh, all I'm saying is that June Endo 100% brings her pity to the Angel City practices, and he just like hangs out, just watches from the shade.
It seems like based on like Maca and Weaver's
He's in
Instagram.
college. He literally has like a dog pen to the side of the softball field. The one time Jordan decided to bring her little like tiny little dog into like our music class, that thing was not okay with the drums.
When I played soccer in like I think middle school, I had a teammate who lived on a farm, and one time her sister mom brought a pig to practice, and they were just walking the pig around the field while we were practicing. Like on a leash. That's all.
Happy Father's Day, Rob.
Up there. We celebrate.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. 15 minutes, and we know who gets the honorary first.
What's she gonna ask? What's she gonna ask?
Can you guess know? We'll just start it off with your thoughts on the match.
I thought we were immense first half, absolutely immense. I'm so proud of the group. We've been on the road for a long, long time. We knew it'd be a celebration out there today, and we wanted to continue that with the football. And I thought from the first moment we controlled the ball, both sides of it. Didn't think they gave us any threat in the first half, and we just need to be a bit more ruthless, like we've talked about. Set pieces, little things like that, where we maybe could have executed better. But yeah, I thought we were full value going in at 1-0. Second half, you know, they're going to try and change things. We thought they might go to the back three, put on the wing backs, you know, try and overload the pockets with Bethune, who's very dangerous between the lines and cause us some problems. And then we sat off a little bit. I was a bit disappointed we did sit off. I'll give them a breathing room because the pressing in the first half was ferocious, and we were excellent at it. And it was a bit toasty, I'm not going to lie, on the old greenhouse of a bench today. That sun coming through the glass. Probably a great idea wearing a scarf and a suit, Gail, you Wally. But overall, I thought, yeah, even though they had more of the ball, I still felt pretty confident. As long as we weren't sagging off, they had the good shot to hit the bar. And obviously Bell's made the key save at 1-0, which, you know, those are, you know, we expect her to make it because she's top quality. She did, gave us the platform to go. And then I was delighted for P as well. Like I said, we've had to protect her a little bit, and she's not fully ready at the minute, but all of the subs I thought came on, done the job, turned the tide for us. And yeah, great value, great performance. Super, super proud.
And then Kaya Hanks going down in stoppage time. Do you have any update for her? And then kind of
I do
before
not.
you-
I'm expecting one about 5 p.m. and hopefully a little bit like last week where we was a bit worried for her. We get some positive news. I don't want that to cloud the positivity of today. So we're hoping for some good news on that.
And then after that, how do you kind of refocus the team going into halftime? Because right, it was on the players' faces, kind of how shook they were seeing her go down. And
Yeah. I mean, we didn't make a sub. We decided we'd see it out with one less player on the field just because we didn't want to use a moment, and it would give us 3.5. And I was quite pleased that that didn't come and bite me in the backside. But yeah, just regroup to halftime. You know, those things are tricky for the players, but they're professionals. It's part of that learning, and you've got to keep the focus. We showed some clips just around some defensive shape and organization and what we thought they might do. how we would adjust to that and just, continue to praise the quality that was the first half. And we say if we can go out there and match that in the second half, then, we're a very, very good football team.
Rob, it was a pretty challenging homecoming gift for you guys having to play a team that's been so excellent on the road this season.
Yeah.
We saw you guys get out to such an aggressive start. I'm wondering, what do you think helped kind of key that in? And then to take that aggressive start and then to finally convert, what do you think that kind of goal did for you guys the rest of the way?
Yeah, it gives you that little breathing space because we've done that in every game at home, to be fair, and the pressing metrics away from home are even more pressive. But we've just conceded soft goals, haven't we, at the wrong times? And when the opposition gets a goal, then like Bay, they're bunkered down, and teams have that opportunity to sit back and defend against us and deny some of their threats. So getting the first goal is always crucial. But I just thought we controlled the game so well the first half, like every facet. Maybe defensive transition, I'd have liked just to end it a little bit higher up the field by hook or by crook at times, but that's game savvy and learning and recognizing the threats. But yeah, you get that goal, gives them the belief, the platform, and there's not that little underlying nervousness with the youngsters that one spawning mistake or set piece and they might steal one, which they wouldn't have deserved. So I think players stuck to the tasks. We've been excellent at home. That's Gotham, Orlando, Washington. Bigger they are, better they are. Harder they fall.
And then you mentioned Bella obviously playing her first home game since 2023 today. Did you talk about with her about that at all?
No, we had a couple of conversations as we do usually, just on it being Pride and Father's Day, and everybody knows what a pillar Bella is to this community and history. And yeah, she was good. She was focused, didn't overplay that occasion. It was already a big occasion, right? And we knew it was, like I said, it was going to be a celebration because that's what Portland does. They show up and we turn out, and it's a place that everybody can feel welcome and their authentic selves. And I just lent into that. I said, let's play with pride for pride, and then just talked about it being Father's Day, how proud, we are as coaching staff to be that. Vitas should have brought him in. It's his first Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to him. Happy Father's Day to all the fans out there. I hope we made it a special occasion for everybody today, and especially the pride community is fantastic. The tifo beforehand was amazing. It's just proper, and that's why we love it.
And then Jessie Fleming looked like she really wanted a goal tonight, and then obviously got both of the assists. Can you talk a little bit about kind of what we saw from her?
Yeah, I want a goal for Jessie Fleming. It's the biggest challenge because her and Liv Moultrie are very similar in their defensive statistics and what they offer in the counter pressing and league leading for attacking type midfielders. And my push for Jess, and I keep working with her, is just that attacking side of her game. Right, and finding the assist today was great, but she had one that was blocked, a little snap shot at the edge of the box, couple half moments, cheeky little scoop that led to Raylan's big chance early on. But yeah, she's getting in those advanced positions, and we've talked about it all year. I thought Hina breaking the line was excellent today, and unlucky on the lob. Sam Coffey got into advanced positions and created overloads. It's the key to how we play, that we don't become stagnant, and that fluidity in the midfield and getting them into advanced positions to overload the opposition. And I thought, again, really good at that first half today. I was delighted with the midfield and the shape, the quality of control, like I said, in possession and out of possession.
A player we usually kind of see get in on the fun when we have these games with fun goals is JP, and we were all kind of a little bit surprised to see her on the sidelines today. Is there anything you can tell us about what was that last minute unavailability from her, why she wasn't available?
She was available, just took her out the firing line. Got to protect her sometimes, physically, pressure, the demand that we put on her. I just felt we weren't quite right at the Bay at the centre-back position in our use of the ball, and Issa has come back, to be fair, after the international window. She was sick, but she'd been flying this week, like looked really, really sharp, fitter than I've seen her probably since she's been here. So we just felt it was the right time to give JP a little handbrake, and just talk to her about it. She's mature. Just give her a little breather. She came and did couple of kilometers this morning, but there's a big difference between that and 10 and 11, and the load that we've placed on her for a first year pro in some key pressure moments, as you all know. That's just me protecting her a little bit and taking her out the firing line when I need to.
Hey Rob, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
You're coming back second game after kind of like a long break, and then after next week you're going on to another extended break.
Yeah.
How hard is it to keep a rhythm or to find a rhythm in such a crazy season?
Yeah, it's a challenge with the league, right? It's a challenge with stadium usage. It's a challenge with the Club World Cup, and it's a challenge trying to get a balanced, organized schedule with the FIFA window that doesn't match the season window. So, yeah, it's a challenge. We all have to face it. International windows are the bane of my life and have been since the Olympics last year, as you guys all know, and getting healthy bodies and readiness, and that I can try and pick a consistent lineup. That's the hardest part, and having to monitor that and measure it, and people flying and different interruptions and illnesses, injuries. Hopefully, everyone will come through unscathed in the summer. There's a few have a little further trek. No one really, other than Dana, in the major tournaments, unless we sign a couple. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I think it's a challenge, but I'll give credit to the group that stays behind and works, and we use those because we're such a young group for specific individual performance plans and work on the aspects of their game. And I challenge Raylan this week, and we talk about Pietra and other things, and there's constant work behind because we're such a young, evolving group. We've got talent, but we need to keep pushing them and challenging them to meet those demands. And that's the good part of when everyone else is away, we get maybe a little more time with them. So yeah, swings and roundabouts, but we try to maximize that. And, with the staff who are all development focused and do a lot of work in those individual performance plans, it's really beneficial to the players in our group. And then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, Rob, can you just kind of talk to us about your nine? I know you were looking for consistency there. You got a goal from Raylan, you got a goal from Pietra Torton today as well. But could you just kind of break down their performance tonight?
Yeah, look, I said I challenged them both because what we talked about in the week, need an out-and-out nine. We have to be good at holding the ball up so that we can link. We don't just want to be a team that's transitional, and especially when you got, dynamic wingers, that nine has to be a reference. And then they have to do the dirty work and the more unfancied work in the defending side of it. And that means grinding and putting bodies on the line. And as soon as we make him play predictable, that's the cue for them to go. And everybody can read behind that. And if that's off, it's so hard for the midfielders behind and the collective effort. And I talked about it last week. You can come up with what tactics in the world, any tactics. If we don't all go together, we got no chance. But you could have the worst tactics in the world and we all go and do it together, we've got a chance. So that is the key, buying into what needs to be done with our identity, with the developments that you're seeing in this group and the model that we're building as a club all the way through from the academy and the second team, who I was out coaching last week and came to watch their game in the midweek. And I'm out training the second team again Tuesday night. So it's so important. And that identity has to continue to grow and everybody has to commit to it and be on the same page. And that's when we're successful, as you saw first half again today.
Yeah, then Rob.
Make room actually for Jamie so we can. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's Father's Day. I'll answer two if I need to. Is it?
Yeah.
I've got nowhere else to go. My kids are in Canada.
We heard Raylan talk briefly about, especially today on Father's Day, was a hard game because of all of the people who are being stripped from their families due to raids and ICE and how that affected her. And also thinking about the TIFO was about trans rights, and a lot of, trans children are being banned from playing. Raylan said that women's sports are using their platform right now to speak out against these inequalities and injustices. And I was wondering what the Thorns are doing, if they're using their platform like we saw Angel City last night at their game.
Yeah, I think the one thing about Portland, the community, the team. I see Bella out there, talking about it. They care. Portland cares. I've said it time and time again. This is the best place in the country to be your authentic self. How it's not countrywide, worldwide in 2025, it is unbelievable. And the things that are happening, our heart goes out to anyone I couldn't imagine my kids and me being removed from them. You know what I mean? And this is a country that I've been accepted in and, able to work and do such a privileged position, and everybody should have that right. So yeah, credit to like Angel City. I know stepped up. I know the club does a lot behind the scenes. We're working on, like, as we do for all the community. There's so many causes that we're asked to be a part of. I'm rappelling down a building next Saturday for the Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hopefully that goes all right so I can make the kickoff. But
I've done that before.
yeah, you can give me some tips because I'm scared of heights. But like, if that's the only thing I have to worry about and here in Portland, then I'm so fortunate, and I don't take that lightly. I said before the game what a privilege it is to represent this community, the pride in the community. We don't take that lightly. We're here for everybody. This Providence Park is the best stadium, and hopefully everybody comes, feels accepted, feels seen and heard, and hopefully the team shows that commitment through those performances. And I know they're a great group, a caring group, and they do a lot that maybe we don't always publicize, but we're here to support everybody and do the best we can and be the best role models we can for our community. Yeah, was it a good one, Phil? Go on.
Yeah,
As long as it's not about me suit. As long as it's not about me suit. No suit. Exactly. Yeah, dodgy. That's right. I told you it was a rascal check-in.
So coming into this game, Thorns averaged 13.6 crosses per game. Tonight you guys had 21. Do you think that was was that kind of a purposeful change in tactics, or was this kind of coming out of that best that you guys were?
Yeah, two things there. We said that teams will come and they'll try and shut down the middle of the park and stop our sixes getting on the ball, and they'll pay closer attention to Kaya, right, with the dynamic threat. So where we needed to be better and more balanced, and where we've looked at it across, maybe the games in Mexico and then certainly at the Bay, we needed to have a dual threat. And I just felt that creating the box with the midfield, Liv Moultrie would have spaces in front and behind their lines. But then we relied heavily on Torpy today. And she really put in a shift. I think she broke her record for output physically. And then obviously Mally came on to finish the job. But I thought we did really well in creating those overloads, a lot more balanced side to side. And it helps because then we can switch the ball around the back, feel confident playing into the pockets, especially the spaces that this group will give you because they're very linear in their defending. And then it created those opportunities, right? And few of those crosses probably a little close to the keeper. We needed that pullback space and everything else, but a noted improvement and credit to the players again out there for honestly sticking to the game plan from the first minute. And you saw them still running and pressing in the 89th, like on a toasty warm day. I can't tell you how proud I am of the group again today and Portland.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's media availability. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks.
Make sure to send a recording of today's availability in the Slack. If you need me to send it personally to you, I can do that as well.
Dodgy dad joke.